Hello guys, so welcome to this series of video related to RHCSA, which stands for Red Hat Certified System Administrator. So in the first video, I show you how to create the environment to practice for the RHCSA. And in this second video, I'll show you how to set up the network settings and the hostname of each VM I show you in the previous video. So in this video, I'll show you how to configure IP addresses on each VM, on all three VMs. And I'll also show you how to set up hostname on each VM, so you will have each VM with a different name from each other. So you know once you are logging on each VM, you'll be able to specify on which VM you are connected. So I will open VirtualBox. As you can see, I have already shut down my VMs. I will start them. Start the first one, I'll start the second one, and I'll start the last one. So after I booted all my VM, I will have access to the shell of each VM. And I will minimize this one. I will start on the server A. This one I'll minimize, so we'll wait just for it to complete. So once that is ready, I will connect on all of them. Root. I'll go also on the, I'll minimize this one. I'll go here, root, and password is root. I will go on the third one, root. So as you can see, I'm already connected, and I will start by defining the hostname of this server. Like I said, wait, I will open a notepad here, notepad. I will put it on the right side of my screen, and this one I'll put it here. So for server A, the hostname will be server A local.dev. For server B, it will be server B local.dev, and for the repo, it will be repo.local.dev. Okay, now I can go on my server and start making the configuration. So to set the hostname of a VM is simple. It's the hostname command, hostnamectl set hostname, and after that I will provide the hostname. In my case, I'm on server A, and the hostname is server a.local.dev. As you can see, I've already configured the hostname, but the name on the console, it's still the same. It doesn't change. So what you have to do is to exit or log out and reconnect again. As you can see, just after I've logged out, you can see the name change. It became server A. That means the name is I've already changed. I will connect, root, and password root. You will see we have the name already set. I can type the command hostname to check that. You can see the hostname is already set to server A.local.dev. I will open the second server and will configure hostname for each one. So I'll go on the server B. I will go and it's hostname ctl set hostname server b dot local dot dev, and the second step is to exit and connect again root. As you can see, the names have already changed. You can check that with hostname ctl, and you can see the name has already changed, server b dot local dot dev. I'll go on the last one, which is the repo. I'll bring it here and root hostname. So as you can see, I'm using Control L to clean the console. Instead of having multiple lines on the screen, I just press Control L to clean the windows, the screen, and on top hostname ctl set hostname repo.local.dev, and I'll exit and connect again root. As you can see, we have configured hostname on all of them. So now once I go on the terminal for each server, I can directly specify that I'm on server B or on server E. Automatically I will be able to know the name just on the terminal. So the second step will be, like I said on the beginning, it will be to set up the network interface. And in my setting, I'm using static IP addresses. And for the first server E, the IP address will be 172.172.10.25.1, and the mask it will be 24. For server B, it will be IP 172.10.25.2/24. And for the last one, which I will also use as the gateway in future configuration, I will show you that. Actually, it will be 172.10.25.254, the last IP address of that subnet /24. So I'll go here and we'll configure that IP address. So on the first server, to set up IP address, there are different ways to set the IP address. You can edit the configuration file of that network interface, or you can use nmcli, which is a command which provides you a tool which is more graphically, it has a UI when you can start moving and see what you are doing. And I'll show you nmcli. As you can see, I can go here and I can specify IP address internet. I can go and change here IP port manual. I can add address as I want. Another one is nmcli, which is the tool which I like to use, because with this I have the possibility to provide value for all properties of a interface card from my prompt. I can specify for each property, I can specify its value, and for that we'll go and start configuring my server. I'll go connect. I'll show you just what we have as network interface on this server. Sure, as you can see, we have ENP0S3 and LO, which is a local loopback interface. And the interface which I'm concerned about right now is the first one, which is ENP 0s3, which is the interface which we will configure in this video. So I'll go and type nmcli. So before I can show you the value, I can configure that interface address. I will show just the value of that setting. Connection show, and I can provide the name of the interface which I want to show values. enp0s3. As you can see, there are so many properties just one for this interface. And what I would like to do almost as usually, we just configure the IP address, the gateway, and the mask of that subnet, and also DNS, and to hello or disable the network to start automatically once the server is boot. So I will show you the command which I like to use: nmcli connection show enp0s3, which is the interface, and I will use grep just to filter the content which is returned. So I'll grep -e for an extended type of regular encryption which I provide. I'll use connection auto connect. After that, I will use IPv4. I'll put a parenthesis before that, and here I will add a dot parenthesis addresses. After that, I will put gateway. After that, I'll put DNS, and after that, I will put method. And as you can see, we have the IPv4 method, which is the way you are providing IP address for that interface. It can be manual or auto means we are using the DHCP server, and IPv4.dns is the DNS address or DNS server, and DNS is a name of your zone or your domain name, and IPv4 addresses is the IP address, and IPv4 gateway is the gateway. So to set up, to configure all those property, I can use nmcli connection modify enp, the name of the interface, IPv4.addresses 172.10.25.1. I can provide also the mask directly, and I'll put also IPv4 gateway, which will be 172.10.25.254. And after that, I can specify the DNS, which is I'll use Google DNS. And after that, I will provide also the search name, DNS search. So this one we use also when we are setting the host name of the computer. It was local.dev, and the last one, it will be auto connect. So it will be connection dot auto connect. So as you can see, actually it's already set to yes. So I just want to show you how you can set it. You can also put there yes. As you can see, we have set all the values, and we can now tell to our server, make that configuration ready. So for that, we must restart the network manager. You can restart it using systemctl, like this: systemctl restart network manager, which will restart all the service with manage network interface. Or we can use just nmcli connection app enp 0s3. So this one will have that have action of restarting the network manager. And if we type IP addresses, show enp0s3 to show the value of IP address of this interface. As you can see, we have the IP address already set. That's how you can set the IP address of any VM. So I'll go and configure the other server. So I'll minimize this one. I'll go on server B, nmcli connection, modify enp0s3 IPv4 addresses 172.172. As you have, if you see, I was at the start of the command prompt and I want to go to the end. I can press command E to go at the end, and command A to go at the beginning. So I want to go at the end. I can press command E, which will bring me to the end. I can type now my IP address 172.10.25.2/24 IPv4.gateway 172.10.25.254 IPv4.DNS 8.8.8.8 IPv4.method manual connection auto connect. Yes, if I check that, nmcli connection show enp0s3 pipe grep -e for an extended regex auto connect IPv4 addresses gateway method DNS. As you can see, we have those values already set it. But if I did IP addresses show enp0s3, as you can see, actually the IP address is still the IP address which is provided by VirtualBox DHCP server. So like I said when I was at the end of the configuration of the server B, for that configuration to take effect, we must restart the network manager, and for that we use nmcli connection app enp0s3. It's starting, and now if I call again that command, you can see those settings are applied. Now I'll go on the other one, the last one, which is the repo, and we'll do the same nmcli connection modify enp0s3 IPv4 addresses 172. I can go now at the end, control E, 172.10.25.254/24 IPv4.gateway 172.10.25.254 IPv4.DNS 8.8.8.8 IPv4.DNS search local.dev IPv4.method manual connection.autoconnect. Yes, I can call the command to list those values. Connection modify show enp0s3 pipe grep extended auto connect IPv4 gateway addresses gateway DNS method As you can see, we have all those values, and we can check IP address, show enp0s3. Those settings are not applied, then we can make that have effect by restarting the network manager connection app enp0s3. As you can see, if we call again this command, so I change it, auto connect. As you can see, I can call address show enp0s3. As you can see, our setting is applied. So now we have already configured all the three server IP address, and now we will check the most important thing is to ensure all our three servers can reach each other. And for that, we can use the command ping 172.10.25.1, which is the IP address server E, and I'm on server E. That can pass automatically. I can go on server B. As you can see, it doesn't work. So the reason why it doesn't work is because initially when you create VMs, by default the attached network address is of type NAT, which means the VM can have access to internet via your host computer. So actually, if I try to ping 8.8.8.8, because I've already changed my IP address, it won't work. But with that NAT, once your VMs receive IP address through NAT, through the network card of type NAT, it can automatically have internet access and it will receive an IP address. But in my case, in this setting, I show you how we change those IP address. And to be able to communicate with each other, we must change that and put it as internal network, which creates a network which is hosted by VirtualBox, and only VMs which are inside which have the same type of network interface can be able to reach each other. So I'll go and change for server B, and I'll change also for the repo server. So go next, internal. I'll go also on the last one, go here and go settings, network, internal. Okay, as you can see, I've already changed those settings. Now if I try to ping 172.10.25.2, you can see I am this server A is already able to reach server B, and it can also reach the repo server because all of them are inside of the same subnet or the same network. So the one last thing which I want to show you is to, instead of having to type IP addresses, I like to configure host name resolution, and for that I use the local host etc host file. So we'll go and fill that with information of each server hosts, and I'll go at the end 172.10.25.254 repo.local.dev and repo. So this is the FQN. Yeah, this one is the FQN, which is the fully qualified name, and at the end this is the short name. So when you set a value in this file, you'll always have the long name, which is the FQDN, and the short name. And I'll copy that and I'll change for server A, server A and then go at the end, server A, delete, and this one it will be server B, and here it will be server B. Now if I go on my terminal and type again ping server a.local or server b.local.dev, it will resolve automatically that name and I will be able to ping server B. I will go and do the same on all remaining server B, etc host 172.10.24.25.254 repo.local.dev repo 172.10.25.2 repo server a.local.dev with server A. I'll copy that and paste it, and I'll change the last one, server B. Now if I do the same ping server a.local.dev, it works. Ping repo.local.dev, so it is working. And I will go on the last one, the repo server. I will do the same, etc host, go at the end, 172.10.25.254 repo.local.dev repo 172.10.25.1 server a.local.dev server A. I'll copy that, paste, change this one. Now I can ping server a.local.dev, it works, and I can also use the short name server B, it is working. So now we have the resolution feature between all three VMs. So that is what I want to show you in this second video. So in the last video, in the next video, I'll show you how to set this repo server as a router, as we have already set it as a gateway for the other two servers, server A and server B. So we'll set it as a router for us to be able to reach those servers from my host computer. So actually, as you can see, typing in this VirtualBox Windows is not interesting at all, because you won't have features like copy paste with your mouse, or you cannot select thing and copy it. So what I like to do is to set this as a router, because if I set that, I can, from my main computer here, I can just do SSH like root dash 172.10.25.1, and I can be able to reach those servers. Actually, that is not performed, so I will show you that in the next video. So you will be able from your main computer to reach VMs hosted by VirtualBox. That will be the next video. So if you are interested in this kind of video, you can just subscribe or leave any comment and end the video, or click subscribe to be notified. Subscribe and click the bell, ring the bell notification to be notified whenever I post new video. So in the meanwhile, stay safe and take care. So see you next time.